Before the Thursday asks, God removes. That is the specific order this prayer is establishing, not God removes after the Thursday has extracted what it will extract. Before, in the quiet of the Thursday morning, before the day has made a single demand, before the inbox has added its layer and the calendar has announced its requirements and the people have arrived with what they need from the person who has been giving since Monday. Before all of that, the removing happens first. Because the Thursday is going to ask. That is not pessimism. That is the honest description of the fourth day of a week that has been requiring since it began. The Thursday will ask for the patience that Tuesday's difficult conversation spent some of. It will ask for the clarity that Wednesday's accumulated demands softened. It will ask for the presence that 4 days of showing up has drawn from. It will ask for more. And the question is not whether the Thursday will ask. It is what condition the person is in when the asking begins. This is Thursday, May 14th, the fourth day. The weight of 4 days of genuine engagement is present in the interior right now, not imagined, real. The actual accumulated cost of being genuinely in the week for 4 days. The weight is not the sign of failure. It is the honest evidence of a person who made contact with the week rather than moving through it in a state of protected distance. The weight is the cost of having cared, and God removes weight, specifically, not through the passage of time or the arrival of better conditions, by direct contact with what is heavy in the interior, by taking from the person what the person was never designed to carry past the point of the carrying being genuinely given, by removing what has accumulated so that the Thursday's asking meets a different interior than the one the accumulation was producing. His word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22, to cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. Cast. Active. The casting is the person's act. The sustaining follows from the casting. And what sustains is not the person's managed reserves, but the God who receives what was cast and provides what the sustaining requires. Before the Thursday asks, the casting happens first. And the sustaining is available before the asking has begun. Before we enter this prayer, write in the comments right now, Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation. Write it as the giving before the demanding, the releasing before the asking. The weight lifted before the Thursday has made its first request. Like this video as an act of choosing the removal before the adding. Subscribe to this channel so we can begin every morning together, especially the Thursdays, when the weight of the accumulated week needs to be removed before another day adds to what is already heavy. And share this prayer with someone whose Thursday you know is beginning under the weight of 4 days of genuine engagement, not with advice about managing the weight, with the one who removes it. Now let us give to God what 4 days have produced before the 5th day asks for more. Lord my God and my Father, I come before you on this Thursday morning, and I bring the specific weight that 4 days of this week have produced in me. The weight of the conversations that required more than conversation. The ones that asked for courage and clarity and patience and presence in configurations that did not come naturally, and that giving them cost something that was not given back. The weight of those conversations is present this morning. The weight of the decisions that are still forming. The ones where the right answer has not arrived despite the sustained effort to locate it. Where the deliberating has been ongoing without producing the resolution that would allow the deliberating to end. Where the Wednesday went to bed with the decision still unresolved, and the Thursday will inherit it still unresolved. The weight of carrying what has not yet been settled is present this morning. The weight of the relationships that are in their difficult seasons. the ones that have required showing up to their difficulty every day of the week, and that will require it again today. The ones where the investment has not been visibly returned in kind, where the giving has been more consistent than the receiving, where the patience has been extended further than it naturally extends. That weight is present this morning, and the weight of simply having been in the week for 4 days. The ordinary accumulated cost of engagement, of being present, of caring, of not taking the protected distance that would have kept the reserves higher and the weariness lower, the weight of having genuinely been in it. I give all of this to you now, not as a performance of surrender, as the actual handing over of what 4 days have produced in the interior. And I trust that what is given to you is received by you, and that the receiving produces the space for Thursday to begin differently from where Wednesday ended. Your word declares in the book of Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 that Jesus says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Weary and burdened, not as exceptions to the invitation, as the specific qualifications for it. The Thursday person who is weary and burdened qualifies fully. Come, as you are, right now. The weight and the weariness and the accumulated cost of 4 genuine days, come, and the rest is given. And Father, I want to receive something from that invitation that is easy to pass over when reading it. The rest is given, not earned, not produced through sufficient recovery, given by the one who extends the invitation. And the giving is to the one who came weary and burdened, not to the one who arrived having already managed the weight to a more presentable level. To the weary and burdened person, in that condition, the giving happens in the condition rather than after the condition has improved. That means the rest available on this Thursday morning is available right now, in the actual Thursday condition, with the actual accumulated weight. With the actual 4-day cost present in the interior. The rest is not waiting for a better version of the person to arrive. It is being given to the Thursday version, now, before the day has added to what is already here. Your word also declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 29, that he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Gives, increases. Both are actions toward the condition rather than rewards for having emerged from it. The strength given to the weary is given to the weary. The power increased for the weak is increased for the weak. Thursday is the right day to receive what is given to the weary and the weak. The weight of 4 days has produced exactly the qualification. Father, I want to understand the weight more specifically so the removing can be specific. Not all of the Thursday weight is the same kind of weight. Some of it is appropriate weight, the weight of genuine responsibility that deserves to be carried, the weight of love for the people the week has required the giving of, the weight of faithfulness to what was begun and has not yet been completed. That weight is not a problem. It is the appropriate weight of a person who is genuinely engaged with their life. It was not designed to be removed. It was designed to be borne. But some of the Thursday weight is not appropriate weight. It is the weight that has accumulated beyond what the appropriate weight was ever intended to produce. The weight of what should have been released on Tuesday, but was carried into Wednesday because the releasing did not happen. The weight of the self-critical assessment that has been running alongside the actual events and adding its own additional pressure to what the events themselves already required. The weight of the anticipatory dread about Friday that arrived without invitation and has been sitting in the interior since Wednesday afternoon, adding its future pressure to the present weight. The weight of comparison that has been quietly building a case for the inadequacy of the week's output relative to some standard the week never set. That accumulated inappropriate weight is what the removing is specifically for. Not the appropriate weight of genuine engagement, the added weight of what was never supposed to be carried this far. Your word declares in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1, to throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Throw off, not gradually release. Throw off. The weight that hinders the running, the weight that the race never required, the unnecessary accumulation that was added to the appropriate weight of genuine engagement. Throw off that weight and run with what the race actually requires. Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation. And Father, I want to ask for something about what remains when the inappropriate weight has been removed. Not the emptiness of the person who has nothing to carry, the lightness of the person who is carrying what was designed for their hands. The appropriate weight of genuine engagement, properly borne, is not the absence of weight. It is the right-sized weight, the weight that the day was designed to produce and that the person who is designed for the day was designed to carry through it. The lightness is the distinction between the person carrying only the appropriate weight and the person carrying the appropriate weight, plus everything the accumulation added that was never appropriate. They both have weight. One is right-sized, one is not. And the right-sized weight is carried differently, with a quality of presence and a quality of patience and a quality of genuine availability that the overweighted person cannot access because the excess weight is consuming what those qualities require. Your word declares in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 7, to cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. The anxiety is the inappropriate addition. The caring for the outcome that was always in God's hands, but that the anxiety was treating as the person's responsibility to manage. The casting removes the inappropriate addition and returns the interior to the appropriate weight of genuine caring without the anxiety's addition. Cast the anxiety today. Keep the caring. The caring was designed for the person's hands. The anxiety was not. And Father, I want to name something about the specific form the inappropriate weight takes by Thursday that Monday's weight did not have. Thursday weight has conclusions attached to it. The Monday weight was raw. It was the fresh impact of the week's first demands. It had not yet been processed through the meaning-making that the interior performs over time. Thursday weight has been processed. The relationship difficulty that arrived Monday has now been through 4 days of interpretation. The Tuesday conversation has been assigned a meaning that the Tuesday itself did not clearly provide. The Wednesday development has been placed in a narrative that the Wednesday did not write, but that the accumulating interpretation composed. And the Thursday person is carrying not only the events, but the meanings the processing produced, which are often heavier than the events themselves. The removing of the inappropriate weight includes the removing of the over-processed meanings. The interpretation that was more catastrophic than the event warranted. The narrative that was more permanent than the situation actually is. The conclusion that was more definitive than the evidence supported. All of that is part of the inappropriate accumulation that the casting gives to God, and that the receiving God replaces with something more accurate. Your word declares in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5 that we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. The over-processed meaning, the catastrophic interpretation, the permanent narrative, take captive, bring it before Christ, and in the bringing receive what Christ says about the situation rather than what 4 days of processing produced. The truth rather than the accumulation's version of the truth. Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation. Lord, I want to pray now about what the removed weight makes possible in the specific hours of this Thursday. Generosity, the specific, practical, interpersonal generosity of the person who has more to give than the overweighted person does. The overweighted person on a Thursday is managing their resources. They have calculated what the day will require and what remains in reserve, and they are rationing accordingly. The patience they extend is the amount the calculation determined was affordable. The presence they offer is the portion the reserve could provide after accounting for what else the day will need it for. The generosity is capped by the weight's influence on what seems available. The weight-removed person is not calculating from the same starting point. The inappropriate weight has been given to God. The reserve that was being consumed by the weight's carrying is available for what the Thursday actually requires. The patience is not the rationed amount. The presence is not the capped portion. The generosity flows from the person who has more to give because the unnecessary weight was removed before the Thursday's asking consumed what the appropriate weight was already producing. Your word declares in the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38, that give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Running over. That is not the description of the rationing person. It is the description of the person giving from the removed weight position. From the place where the inappropriate addition has been cast to God, and the appropriate weight is being carried with the sufficiency that the right-sized burden provides. Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation, and let the generosity produced by the removal be specific in the Thursday interactions. The colleague who needs something from me that my Thursday weight was going to ration. The family member who will call or message and who deserves the full version of the person rather than the version the accumulation has been producing. The moment in the afternoon when someone needs the patience that the 4-day accumulation was consuming before it could be offered. The weight-removed person offers all of those without the rationing. Not because they have more natural capacity, because the inappropriate weight was removed before the Thursday asked for what the weight was consuming. Father, I want to ask for one more specific thing about the Thursday that the weight removal produces. Perspective on the week itself. By Thursday, the person who has not removed the inappropriate weight is seeing the week through the accumulated lens of what the week has cost. The week looks like what it has taken. Every day is tallied in the depletion column. The Monday conversation looks like the patience it spent. The Tuesday decision looks like the energy it consumed. The Wednesday development looks like the complication it added to what was already complicated. The weight-removed person sees the same week from a different position. The accumulation that was distorting the view has been given to God, and the wider frame has been received in its place. And from the wider frame, the same week looks different. The Monday conversation that spent some patience also produced something. The Tuesday decision that consumed energy also moved something. The Wednesday development that complicated what was already complicated is also part of what God was working in the week. The same events, different frame. Your word declares in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 17 that our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Achieving for us. The Thursday troubles are not only taking from the person, they are achieving something in the person that the comfortable week would not have achieved. The perspective on the week as achieving rather than only taking is the perspective available to the person whose inappropriate weight has been given to God and whose view has expanded to include what the week is building alongside what it is costing. See the week as achieving today, Lord, not only as taking. Both are true. The removing of the weight allows both to be seen. And I want to close with something about what the weight-removed Thursday person brings to the end of the week. Not the exhausted finish of someone who outlasted the week's demands on diminishing reserves. The specific, different quality of someone who gave the accumulated weight to God on Thursday morning and received back the right-sized burden that the day actually requires. That person arrives at Friday from Thursday's weight-removed position. The Friday's asking meets a person who was not carrying Wednesday's inappropriate additions through Thursday. The Friday's depletion is proportionate to what Thursday actually asked, rather than to what Thursday asked, plus what the accumulated inappropriate weight was already consuming. The Friday that follows the Thursday weight removal is a different Friday. Your word declares in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 2, to carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. And verse 5 says each one should carry their own load, both. Carry each other's burdens. Carry your own load, the appropriate weight of genuine engagement with the people of the week, and not carry what was not designed for human hands to carry past the point of its appropriate duration. The weight removal is not the abandonment of responsibility. It is the return to the right-sized weight of the person designed for the load they were given and not for the accumulated inappropriate additions that the week produced. Carry the right load today, Lord, the appropriate weight, the one designed for these hands, and give the rest to the hands designed for it. And I want to name something about what the right-sized burden specifically feels like when the inappropriate weight has been removed. It does not feel like the absence of challenge. It feels like the right relationship to the challenge. The appropriate weight is the weight of a person who is genuinely in the week and genuinely giving what the week requires without the added weight of what the week was never designed to produce in them. The appropriate burden is the challenge without the dread. The responsibility without the accumulation. The genuine engagement without the inappropriate interpretation that 4 days of processing had added. That right relationship to the challenge is what the weight removal produces. Not an easier Thursday, a right relationship Thursday. The difference between them is not the events. The difference is the person meeting the events. The right-sized burden person meets the Thursday's events in relationship rather than in opposition. In the appropriate engagement rather than from behind the accumulated inappropriate weight. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4, that even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me, even through the dark valley. The appropriate weight includes the valley. The removing of the inappropriate weight does not remove the valley. It removes what was making the valley heavier than the valley itself is. The valley is the right-sized challenge. The accumulated weight was the valley plus everything the 4 days of processing had added. The removal gives back the valley at its actual size. Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation. That is the declaration this Thursday begins from. The weight is named. The giving is real, the removing has begun, and the Thursday that is about to ask for more meets a person who is carrying the right-sized load rather than the accumulated inappropriate weight on top of it. The day will ask, and the person who receives the asking is in a different position from the one who was carrying everything the week had added. To everyone who prayed with me this morning, go back to the comments and write it one final time. Lord, remove the weight before this day asks more of me. I give you what 4 days have cost, so the 5th day can begin from something other than the accumulation. Return to the casting at every moment. The Thursday tries to add what was removed back to what was kept. Subscribe to this channel and come back tomorrow morning. We are here every day, giving before the day asks, removing before the adding begins. Share this prayer with someone whose Thursday is beginning under the accumulated weight of 4 genuine days. Not to tell them the weight is not real, to give them the one who removes what was never supposed to be carried this far. May the Lord remove specifically and completely the inappropriate weight that 4 days of a genuine week have produced in you. May what remains be the right-sized burden of the person designed for the load they were given. May the Thursday that asks for more meet a person who is carrying less than Wednesday's closing position. And may the Friday that follows be lighter for what the Thursday morning gave to God before the Thursday had the chance to ask for more. In Jesus' name, amen.